Qbee Castle is a game with basically infinite possibilities of ways to play. Giant worlds, a variety of features, an active community with players from all around the world. It is a true game of creativity and adventures. But have you ever imagined of how it all started? Well, hello everyone, Black Sonata here, and this is the history of Qbee Castles. Your blocks, your castle, your world. Build anything you can dream up and explore with other players. Qbee Castles is an MMO that combines the best of block building and 3D platform action. Create fantastic parkour challenges, explore worlds made by other players, or even make new friends. That was a message that told about Qbee Castles, a game created way back in the end of 2013, but actually sent in May 28th of 2014 by the Cosmic Cow Games. The game was made of blocks and the so-called Qbees, which are beings created by a powerful god. Some of them saying that they are originated from the spacefaring cattle, others saying that they came from the almighty cube and the baleful box, being them the good and evil gods of the cubic world, and the whole theory that they come from a dimension called Slimeria. In its first version of the game, there was not that much things. To put in perspective, there wasn't even a lobby. The players spawned in the same room and they could talk and interact with each other, but this won't last long as their 0.7.5 open beta version of the game was going to release at May 7th of 2014, 3 weeks ago of being greenlighted from Steam. The game didn't have much features except for exploring the overworld, break blocks in the mines in your own realm, talk with other people and other things. But it showed the first version of the Qbee store that looked like this, even though a chest there would cost 250 qubits. Yeah, it was a thing. All of this would surely change with the release of new versions, like the 0.8.7 version, which included a country system which shows from which country you are, a tutorial that explains you the basics of the game, and not only that, but it was the first time that the Qbee saw the creation of the Qbee Town Center. Although this was one of the most important versions of the game, since it was an open beta and players could play and report any bugs, it would start a really long journey along the way. Around October or November of 2015, some new stuff came in the game, such as the creation of the level and perk system, the Qbee store was rebuilt, giving the player a better and not so confusing interface, and a bunch of other updates came along the way in another years, like a recube system, a farming system, the addition of cars, pets, and a bunch of other stuff that happened on this game. At the beta of the game, the economy was pretty much non-existing, since all of the things could only be bought in the Qbee store. But all of this would change when players decide to sell things like resources and even some wearables using the tip piggies, which served as a way for players to give donations to creators of realms. The problem is that the tip piggy wasn't pretty good for shops, so this made a lot of people scam other ones, because once they put the amount of qubits needed to buy a certain item in the piggy, the scammers would just, well, break the piggy, get the qubits and leave the realm. This would change with the cash registers, which offered a better way to do trades between other players, which was a literally game-changing update, because the in-game economy is what made the game original and fun. Although the implementation of the cash registers was added, it still had some problems, such as having to wait the owner of the shop to log in, some other scamming methods through cash registers, and an even complicated way of price tracking. So with those problems, in 2016, vending machines were added, which was another feature that changed the way that economy and shops work. With so many updates that changed how qubits work, there was still one problem, and it was about the Qbee store. Back in the beta versions, the Qbee store was used to buy literally everything, because all of the economy updates we have now came pretty much after the game blew up. The creation of shops and the use of cash register and vending machines made the game better, but made the Qbee store useless and obsolete. Or that's what they thought. The Qbee Castle's events and the packs are probably one of the things that makes the game alive until this day. This is what makes the whole community to wake up and look for the new things that each event or pack will have. To put it simple, this is what makes the game active. Things like the fishing tournament, egg hunting, or even the Valentine's, New Year's, Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Easter packs, and a lot ton of others makes the player curious about what's coming next. And this is truly something that not only makes the community together, but also put a reason to the existence of the Qbee store, because all of the items come from there first before people already start selling the items that come from it. It is really cool and dynamic how the game can interact with the players, but it all comes down to the community of the game itself. I feel that talking about the community of a game is pretty important, because it is basically what makes the game alive. And in Qbee Castles, it follows something pretty strange and, to be honest, kind of disappointing. Back in the beta times, the community of Qbee Castles was overall pretty connected, in a way that almost everyone knew everyone, which made drama pretty rare. Later on, with the big popularity of the game from 2015 all the way to 2021, the game wasn't that much together when we speak about the community as a whole, which made drama more common, and the game began to feel like more focused on qubits and shopping, which was way different in the past. Of course, this doesn't mean that the old days was that much better or that now the game has turned a lot worse. It can be treated as some argument, of course, but what I think it is the one that explains the most why Qbee Castles have turned a little bit worse has to do with scammers. The start of scamming methods shouldn't be that much of a surprise for now, since literally every game will have a portion of people that will play for their own benefit, and this is really unpleasant, but it is a reality. Scamming methods started way back before cash registers entered in the game, with the use of the pigs for the trades of the game, which I talked back in the video. But this wasn't the only way of scamming back in the day. We also had drop games, random scams when foundation blocks were into the game, and a lot of others. And it is a bummer that, as much as the developers tried their best to fix such problems, they will probably be here for a really long time. With not only this problem, but also a lot of others, the moderators of the game is really something that should be talked about right now. The game had 38 moderators to the day that I'm recording this video, and it is pretty curious to see the amount of moderators they went through over the years. The moderators are a pretty big part of the game, because not only they, moderate, they are kind of common players as well. They play the game for fun, meet new people. They are not players that are just watching other people's actions, but they are also part of the game in general. And this is a pretty cool thing to see. They do a pretty good job overall, and this interaction between moderating the game and playing casually is something really cool to see. Although a lot of these moderators have retired from the staff, there are people that should be taken into consideration, because they care about each aspect of the game, and without them, I feel that the game clearly wasn't going to be as good as it is now. But it isn't only the moderators that made the game successful, and what I think that was another aspect that made the game so big at the moment has to do with YouTube, and also with one of the most known channels of the community. The YouTube old elite have started way back in the beta, when YouTubers such as MMORPG reviewers took a look at the game. But on the ocean that was these channels, a clan rises. The Mature Gaming Network, or the MGN for short, was a network of YouTubers and gamers that play for fun and look for new friendships. The YouTubers that were in the network recorded different games, but this YouTuber called Red Eagle, a former Blockhead YouTuber, found Qbee Castles and decided to record some videos about the game. On his main channel, his videos were more focused not in the game in general, but in the community of the game, so he recorded things like minigames with his friends and other things in the aspect. In his second channel, however, he was more focused on the events and updates of the game, and this channel in general was one of the things that made the game alive. With each video reaching from 1000 to 10,000 views, a lot of his viewers started playing the game, which made the community much bigger at the time. Not only that, but YouTubers like 007Awesome007, which focused more on the in-game content, was also YouTubers who made the game community much stronger. But it wasn't only these YouTubers. We had YouTubers like Noobzilla, Ben Z, Kale Lancaster, and even all of the MMO RPG channels that do reviews about the game. But this doesn't stop in the English community at all. What I think that was one of the biggest YouTubers that made a video about the game was a Brazilian YouTuber called Goldenot, a YouTuber that had an amazing subscriber count of more than 600,000 subscribers at the time, which made the Brazilian Qbee Castles community one of the biggest communities in the game at around 2015. However, this would all come to an end. December of 2018 was a pretty sad and memorable day in the Qbee Castles YouTube history, because it was the day that pretty much declared as the end of the old YouTube elite, since a lot of players that played since beta, including Red Eagle, have pretty much stopped doing Qbee Castles videos. But this wasn't just going to be a sad funeral, because some years later, new Qbee Castles YouTubers have been growing up, and another ones were just starting. YouTubers like PlayerCC, Coastari, Kitsdane, Venera, Sebi, Janis G, Jonder, Galton Mew, Merlin L. Should I include myself here? Black Sonata CC and a lot of others would define a new generation of YouTubers. However, one of these YouTubers would be the symbol, the legend, the creator of all this new elite. You probably know who I'm talking about Tyler PW. A YouTuber previously known by your Pixel Worlds content that just found out about Qbee Castles for 7 months ago, and now he's really known in the community. He also showed for a lot of people about the game, which just made the community much bigger and active, and he's basically have gained a lot of subscribers because of the game. And with that, with all these ups and downs, they were sponsored by the Blue Wizard Digital, a Canadian studio of game development created in 2014, which made pretty awesome games, Shell Shockers included. One of the ways that the sponsorship worked is that, by leveling up to level 3 in Qbee Castles, the Shell Shockers players would get a code that would give them a special gun, shipped in the model of a Qbee Castles harem wand. They also have done a bunch of promotions in their Discord server, which I'll put in the description so you guys can check it out. This was, for sure, one of the biggest promotions that Qbee Castles have ever met, since the Blue Wizard Digital is known from all around the world with a fanbase of over 100,000 people, which is truly amazing. With so much things that they had to go on the 7 years of existence, Qbee Castles will still be alive for a lot of time, at least I think. Each update have a lot of things that change the way the game goes, the community can do a lot of things that can surprise us, the mechanics of the game give us literally everything to work on to do such amazing things, with people that are here to help, no matter the circumstances, and the game story have so much to tell that just building blocks aren't enough to describe how much people are grateful that the game existed. I've been playing for 5 years and the game had a pretty big impact on me. It changed me a lot to the better and it teach me a lot of things that I will still value through this day. In so much time of gameplay, all that I have to say is, well, thank you so much. I literally can't imagine how much this game has changed me, and as long as the game keeps amazing, there will be something that will keep doing changes. And well, before ending the video, I just want to say huge thanks to Will, who helped me to make the video. We had a lot of talking in the Discord. He helped me a lot to make the video. And I also want to say thanks to you for watching.